Hello, hello, hello. You
Hello,
guys,
hello.
you guys may be entertained tonight with my frog. I don't know if you can hear my frog.
I can hear it.
You hear it? Yeah, tree frog right out here in the front of the house somewhere. It's crazy, loud little thing. Last night we had to close the windows because the frogs in the pond were so loud we couldn't hear ourselves talk in the house. It was
They,
crazy.
they were letting you know they were there.
Yeah. So I said in my whipping chat today, well, my whipping chat that I just recorded for tomorrow, that if they're loud like that again, I'm going to go out and I'm going to record some of it because you will not believe how loud they are. Anyhow, Joe says she's happy she made it before we started. There we go.
Look at there.
And she's cooking. And Brenda's here. And she's got rolls. And Brenda's here. And Sherry's here. And Joe has a picky eater. All right. And Brenda's here. And Sherry and Joe. There's Lynn and Brenda and
Joe and Marion.
Joe and what Joe say about what?
Huh?
You're reading both of them at the same time? Like you're reading the one with us and you're reading the first one too? Gotcha. And hello, and Michelle, and Karen, and Lynn can't remember what we're reading because Lynn, you're never reading what we're reading anyhow. You're always
No, because you already read and
yeah,
changed on, finished the
yeah,
series.
yeah. You're always done, and we're way behind you. It's terms and conditions. Lauren Asher, wedding
I am feeling
people.
better. Thank you, Lynn.
Let's see. I'm getting down to the bottom here, maybe. There's Marion. Joe's a chatty Kathy. Okay, chat. Chat. I just did, I should have brought it in here and shown you guys. I just did my last two books, my book, hexagons. I did Fourth Wing and I did the other book that I finished recently. Fourth Wing. It's really pretty. That was when I was worried how it was going to turn out. But
Yeah.
I like it. It turned out it's really pretty. I like it. Anyhow, you can go see it on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you can go see it there. But it's really pretty. You're in Texas now? All the way down to Texas. Last I knew you were like in Indiana or somewhere, Marion.
Texas.
Now she's in Texas. That woman gets around. Let me tell you what. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, yeah. So I was going through all of my books that I've read, and I was like, I thought I was missing. I thought I had two squares to do. Not squares, they're hexagons, but I thought I had two to finish, and then I doubted myself. So then I went through my list because I still write them down in a notebook. I went through my list and I checked everything off and made sure I had pictures for everything and whatnot. Anyhow, so yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah, I feel bad for last week. I'm sorry. It was not good.
Yeah, and there goes Brandy. Whoop.
And of course now I'm yawning because I'm just so tired.
When are you guys done with school? You're not done until like the last week or something. You got 2 more weeks, or what you got?
Yeah, I got 2 more weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yay for you.
And of course, testing will be over by Thursday. You know, that means that the rest of the time you're not getting them to do nothing.
No.
So I've been told, since I have to move classrooms, I've been told to take these next times and have them help me pack up and clean up and get my stuff ready to move.
How much stuff do you have? Doesn't seem like you have a lot to pack up.
I don't have a lot because most of my stuff never made it to the school.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't bring most of your stuff to the school.
And because I'm going into the new building, we can't bring any furniture unless it's been approved.
Now what, you're going to a new building?
Mhm. Well, hopefully I'm going to a new building.
What do you mean, hopefully?
Well, because Red Letter Day is not until Friday, so
Oh,
I find out.
but what's the new building?
So we have a new building on campus that got finished up this year. It has 2 stories, just like our other buildings do, but it's brand new. The building that I am in houses all of our ESE and autism kids, and that's what that building is supposed to be. So those of us that are over there that are not ESE/autism teachers, we have to go over to the new building that's been built. And I don't know if I'll be upstairs, if I'll be downstairs. I hope downstairs, but yeah.
So you're going into a brand new building.
Brand new building that already has, they have specific furniture and technology that is there, and they want it to stay looking a specific way for a little bit. And so they want to approve what furniture that you bring into the room.
Uh-huh. I was going to say, every time I moved, I had bookcases and filing cabinets and all kinds of things that I'd collected over time. So if they didn't have enough furniture for me, I was going to have an issue with it.
Well, they have all brand new desks, all brand new filing cabinets, all brand new bookshelves. Like all of that is all built into the rooms, along with all the technology. Desk, chairs, chair for me, teacher's desk. So, you know, they're just wanting to, I mean, they even have in some rooms, there's a separate, away from where your desks are, there's a separate, what they call a cooperation sitting area, where it's like these cool sofas that they have that goes with the room, modern sofas, for when you want kids to cooperate on like projects or whatever, you can send them over to the cooperation area, and they've got all these comfy places to sit and collaborate. I mean, it's nice. I won't deny that. Now, I don't know if the room I will be in will have all that, but we'll see.
The last 3 years, I think it was the last 3 years that I was there, our whole district got new furniture, and they never asked a teacher really about the furniture that they got for everybody, because it was the stupidest furniture I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyhow, it was dumb.
But were you required to use said furniture?
Yeah, well, the students' desks and everything, yeah, it was student desks, my desk, they took everything. I mean, now I could still have my own bookshelves, my bookcases, I had extra filing cabinets, I had easels, I had other stuff that I had just kept through the years, but all they replaced was the student desks, teacher desk, and it was dumb furniture. Anyhow, all right, let's talk about terms and conditions. Their marriage is in trouble. Their marriage in trouble. Man, he's a jerkwad. He's just a jerk.
Yeah, but at the same time, you see little moments of where you can tell that he actually cares. Now, granted, it's all internal. Like she's only seeing slight little lifting of the lip or whatever, but inside, like, you know, someone says something against her. When they say something against her, he's ready to pummel him, and he does pummel his dad, but all because they said something against her. Now, I'm not happy with how he phrased the "you're not going anywhere" or "you're not leaving again."
You're not leaving me.
No, he didn't even say "you're not leaving me." He says "you're not leaving again."
You're not leaving. Whatever. You're not leaving.
And it's kind of like say what? Say excuse. Say excuse.
Yeah.
And she's a little feisty. I mean, she's a little feisty. She kind of like, you tell me to do this, I'm gonna do what I dang well want to.
I guess you have to be when you're dealing with him, because he's a grumpy ass jerk boy.
Oh, I know.
He's a grumpy ass jerk boy.
But her mom definitely sees something there. That
Oh,
she's like, what
I
exactly
gotta
is my
say,
mom seeing?
I liked when they got after his dad, when they both got after the dad.
Oh, I like she punched
I'll
him.
punch you and I'll punch you. What do you think? Well, why'd you think you could punch him? What do you think?
Well, she saw it in a movie, she saw it in movies and just,
Just thought, boom.
you think that it works that way and it really doesn't, but
Yeah. And then then she's like, no, you need to take me to the hospital. I hurt my hand. We gotta go.
and she's getting all kinds of distracted during different times. But what do you think about him sitting there watching, what was it, like 8 episodes of
Yeah, they just sit there and watch the Home Improvement series. Yeah.
She's kind of like, what's happening?
Okay. All right. Well, watch
Like,
it.
what's going on? You're supposed to, I understand. Rightfully, she got pissed off because he's working and forcing her to work.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she said her piece, and I'm glad he backed off about it. But in her mind, it's like a whirlwind, I guess, because you go all of a sudden from this is super important. This is what has to be. And now it's, I'm going to hang around you. Like, I'm right here. We ain't going over right here.
And they always have their own separate bedrooms. They're never like in the same bedroom, even on their honeymoon, right? Their honeymoon.
Well, they haven't got to that point. I feel like at some point before this book ends, some stuff's going to be shared.
Like fluids?
I don't know. I just think some stuff's going to be shared. Stuff is going to be shared. Now, he even took offense to her talking about, like, your house is fine, but it's not. Because it's a house. It's not a home.
What's wrong with my house?
She's like, it's a house. It's not a home.
Right. It's just sterile. It's good. Nothing to it. Yeah. So, yeah.
What about the fact that she tried to quit?
Well, she did try to quit.
Yeah, she was like, I'm done. Give him my notice. And he's like, excuse me,
that's
what?
when he said that she's not leaving.
Yeah, she's like, no.
Meaning she can't leave the job. She can't leave him, whatever it was. She can't leave. I like that she let him believe that she headed out into the wild wilderness with the tigers and the lions and whatever, and like she was going to get eaten or something.
I know. Because think about it. He made her mad. And then even worse, like, she seems the type of person that, because he says, you're not doing this, she's like, F you, dude. Don't tell me what I am or I'm not going to do.
Like, see ya, bye.
And so now he's all like, well, we're going to go on this safari. And I am kind of surprised that elephants was what he wanted to see versus lions. But,
right.
And what about coming in soaking wet because a cheetah a leopard? Leopard was outside.
Outside the shower window or whatever.
She's like, what's happening? Andy's wet. Mm-hmm. Like, you give her two things. You're trying to wake her up to see a leopard, but at the same time, there's, a wet man waking you.
Yeah, well, she got the best of both worlds. She got a dude that's wet from the shower and her leopard all at the same time.
But it's weird they're not seeing them on the safari, but you see them outside. I guess it kind of must be like if you go to Disney World, if you decide to stay in the resort, there is a resort that is actually inside of the Animal Kingdom park where you actually can look out your windows and see the animals roaming free because you're inside the park. So they must be inside of the preserve.
Probably. Yeah, because if she was to step outside the door, he was worried that she was going to get eaten by something. If she's out there just roaming around in the dark at night, something's going to come and eat her.
See, that's why I say we know he likes her because he's getting all protective. And I don't think that's just him. I know you could argue that it's him being protective because of the, the contract and the set, but I honestly think he's starting to see that he has feelings for her. She's starting to see she has feelings for him, but they're both too dadgum stubborn to admit it to each other.
This is one of the slowest, slow burn romances there is.
Yeah, see, the first book, they were wham, bam,
right?
Which is why you had to have multiple, what do you call those? The where there's conflict, you had to have multiple of the conflicts because they just went so fast and heavy and hard.
So their conflict all came after sex. This one, all the conflict is before sex. So they're going to have to iron out all of their issues before they get it on. Where the other ones, their chemistry was too strong. They had to get it on first and then go, oh my God, now we got all this shit to figure out. Yeah.
Because there's definitely chemistry there. There is definitely chemistry there between the two of them. They're just stubborn.
Well.
And I think all it's going to take is one of them. All it's going to take is one of them to admit that it's a little bit more than contractual how they feel. And then the house of cards will fall.
I don't think they're going to admit that until they get it on. I think it's going to be get it on because we just can't not do it anymore. We just got to do it. We just got to do it. We're married. We got to do it. We're feeling things. We got to do it. And then they're going to start to admit how they feel about each other. I think that's how it's going to work.
Because right now they're having to fight these social media posts about she's pregnant, showing some thing, and he's like, "That ain't my baby." What the heck?
Yeah.
Which we knew there was going to be some of that. I mean, you can't like throw a whirlwind marriage out at everything and not expect there, because he's like always the front of the, what do you call it? Company, like the face of the company kind of thing. Because he's bucking for the CEO.
Yeah, what he's trying to do, he's trying to become the CEO. That's what he needs to do all this stuff for, is to like really take over. Because his dad's doing that now. What are they going to do? What? They just kick dad out? I mean, is that how this is going to happen? He just gets kicked out? Is that?
I mean, that's how it's looking. Even though I'm really curious, because we know from the first book, Dad made some major changes, and you can even see it here as far as even when he's meeting with him, he's not drinking alcohol, he's drinking water. So, you got to wonder, was there some sort of a letter that Dad got, or did Dad get insight into what the other letters said? Like, I feel like one of these books is going to flip and tell us what Dad knows, because he knows. Well,
because he knows he's already, this, you're getting married just because you have to. He has said that you're getting married because you have to, so that you can take over. So he must know that's what his part of the thing is. So
I feel like Dad knows what was in each of those letters. And part of me wonders, did Dad get his own letter?
I don't know. Probably.
So I'm just like, Dad, now that Dad stopped drinking, you would think he'd be nicer because he was not fueled by alcohol.
But he's not nice.
Mm-hmm. He's just a bitter old man. Bitter old man. And I guarantee you, his dead wife would be very disappointed in him. She'd probably smack him and be like, "What is wrong with you?"
I don't know. Maybe she'd be like, "Oh my God, goodbye." Get out of here.
No, she'd be like, I don't know what you're doing, but these are our boys. And if you don't straighten up, I'm going to hog tie your butt. Because he was obviously nicer when she was there. I mean, he lost his, which I understand, losing a significant other can be devastating. But, I mean, you're not supposed to just go down butthole town.
Well, that's where he lives. That's his specialty, being a jerk.
And I'd like to know, so he told her he was trying to get her not just not to have Declan's baby, but to not have a baby ever? Like,
Right.
what the F?
Right. Yeah.
Ooh,
Like he was gonna pay to like have her sterilized or something, yeah?
I'm like, dude. Oh, I would have punched him. I would have punched him straight away.
Right. Well, we know you would have, Brandy.
Right through the, right in the kisser.
We know you would have.
Right to the moon. Because he deserves it. He needs a little smacking around in a bad way.
Well, Declan needs it too, though. He needs it
Yeah.
too.
And I think she'll eventually give it to him because
He
she's
needs to
spicy
be-
enough.
He needs to be straightened around for sure.
She's spicy enough, but she's timid because she's starting to realize that there are feelings there. But I feel like she's got enough spunk in her that eventually she's going to be like, all right, listen, I punched your dad. I can punch you too, dude. Don't make me mad.
Because she's already, I mean, when he finally pushed her, he's like, so what's wrong? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. No, what's wrong? I know something's wrong. What's wrong? So when he pushed her, she finally was like, blah, 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 blah. You know, listen, this is the deal. So when push comes to shove and she gets backed into a corner or something, she's going to be like, she's going to tell him what the story is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I do love that she told him this whole Tokyo Dreamland, this is not just yours.
It's ours.
It's ours. And you better put it that way from here on out.
It's ours.
Because she's put just as much, if not more,
Yeah.
blood, sweat, and tears into that project than even he has.
You're not working on this alone, buddy.
Yep. We partners, and we fix it to be partners. She gonna make him be like, we're partners in every sense of the word.
Ooh.
And you gonna like it.
Hmm.
You gonna like it.
Well, we're about halfway through with this book, and I'm just like, there ain't been no hanky panky yet. What in the world?
Mindy's like, we've gotten some kisses, but they've only been prefatory kisses.
Where's the hanky panky coming? Where's the hanky panky?
Mindy can't stand it. Well, because the tension is building. So it means that when it happens, it's going to be one of them firework explosion. I'm just going to have to go, all right, let's just get to the end of this. And then we'll,
Oh boy.
because it's going to be firework central. And they going to probably, a whole chapter might be dedicated to just what they going to, and I'm not,
Or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. She was kind of spicy in the first one, so I'm assuming that she gonna add that in there.
No, that other book I'm reading, that cowboy book, that's chapter after chapter of sex. Chapter after chapter.
I'm so glad I'm not reading that. Oh, God.
It's chapters. It just goes on and on and on.
'Cause I'm not kidding. Once I see that it's starting to I'm like, all right, let's get to the end of it. I'm not even reading it. Okay, yep. Shirt, hair, okay, yep, other body parts, yep. Okay, we're at the end. Now we can see what's going on.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, I just can't wait. I'm so glad that the book I'm reading right now is a retelling from the other one's point of view, the the boys' point of view. Problem is that they haven't talked about what has happened, but boy, we get to see into their masculine thoughts every time they look at them. And I'm like, well,
So
see,
now do you understand why they wrote another book from that point of view?
so that we can hear their dirty little thoughts as every time they look at them. Like, I don't need to know that little thought that pings into your head and other parts of your body every time you see them. I'm good. Thank you. We don't need the little, they told us all about their little, these boys have had more dreams than we thought happened in the first book, the twins version. And I'm just like, oh, good Lord. Y'all could have kept that stuff to yourself.
It's funny because on Saturday I went to the diamond painting meetup thing that we have here. And there's 3 of them that are reading the book. And 2 of them are ahead of the other one now. And they're like, oh, you're up. Where are you at? And she was like, I think I'm starting book, I don't know, 6 or 8, whichever one that has a half, 8.5, 8 and 8.5 or something, or 6. And it's funny because April's like, that book made me throw it. Yeah, I had to throw it multiple times. I'd be reading along, I'd be like, no. And then I'd pick it back up and I'd be, no. And I'd throw the book again. And I was like, oh. I
told you I was getting, I'm finally at the end. So that, but this particular author has made it so that like every time, like just imagine a series that every time the good guys look like they're gonna finally pop, then the bad guy, and you're just like, what the ever can you just, and I'm like, it's like books and books, like multiple books where every single time you think they're going to come out on top and something happened and down they go, which is why you want to throw the book, because you're just like, oh my God. When are they going to win?
But I have no idea what the book is actually about. I mean, I don't know what it's about. I don't know these characters. I know nothing about it, but I've heard people talk about it enough, and I'm just like, you people are crazy about this book. This book
basically
it's having an effect on you people.
Well, see, basically it's okay. So in fantasy how you have humans and you have fae, right? Fae, fairy type creatures.
I thought they were all like.
So they consider vampires, werewolves, phoenixes, manticores, all of the supernatural creatures. They are considered fae, which means that they are magical beings.
I didn't think there was any other like normal people.
Yes, no, there's so these 2 girls were in the mortal realm because they were changelings. So their parents, their fae parents, traded them out.
Are they sisters?
They're twins. They're identical twins. And that's why they're the Gemini. That's why it's called, so, and basically they are the long lost daughters of who used to be the king of this kingdom. But the problem is they have been raised in the mortal realm, have no clue about fae, about magic, about nothing. And all of a sudden they get brought back into this fae world. But the people who have been set up to rule are now like, wait a second. So now these people who know nothing about our kind, nothing about our world are going to come in and try to take over and try to rule. And there's a whole bunch of conflict. And then there's also a whole bunch of heat, and they trade people. And as far as like partners, they go all kinds of crazy fights, some more than once, some together, and it just gets all crazy. But they're trying to learn about this world. And then you have one big bad person who's related to the group that basically comes in and takes over, and they're trying to fight that person. But they're trying to learn about their world, their powers, because we know that they're powerful when they first come in, because we're told they're going to be the most powerful fae in the world, but they don't know how to use it. They don't know who they are. They don't even know what none of this is. None of it. And they're having to learn from scratch. They went from being super poor, like stealing money and food and bicycles and motorbikes in the human world to one of the most wealthy people in this magical realm. And all of a sudden now they got magic. And they don't know what to do with it, what to think about it.
I think it's funny to listen to people talk about it who've read it, talking to other people who are reading it, might not be as far, and just the reactions people. It's funny. You don't even have to know what the story's about. You just listen to people react to the books. It's hilarious.
I know. It's like I said, they purposely designed it so that you've got there's got to be at least 4 or 5 books where every time we make one advancement, and I feel for them people, because just wait. They're about at one of them, if they're about book 8 or so, they fixing to be where there's a big old thing happened that I'm so glad it was on my phone, because when that thing happened, I went, you have got to be ever living.
I think it was April said it was book 8 or whatever, that she was just like, I am so done.
I was like, this is not happening. And I was literally saying to my phone, to the author, like they could hear me, you better fix this. You better fix this. Like, this is, I don't know what's in your brain, but you better fix it. Fix it good.
Lynn, it's the series Zodiac Academy.
Yeah.
And
it's really good.
How many are there again?
12.
12. And you're on which one? You're on 12?
I am on book 11.
You're on 11. And that's a retelling from the guy's point of view. So what's 12 going to be then? Another retelling?
I don't know, because the big battle has happened. And the title of the final one makes me go, what the heck is this one going to be about? Like, he gone. He gone. Why are you putting his name in the title of this book? So now I don't know what's happening, because I'm like, the battle's done, won. So what's he got to do with anything? So now I'm curious. I'm curious.
Well, you'll find out soon enough, won't you?
Yeah, because I am on this particular book. I am about 80% through it. So I've got about 20 more percent of this book, and then I'll finally get into the final book. And then, of course, there's offshoots of the series, so they have other series that tie into, in some way, form, shape, fashion, to the series, to the main series.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Well, we're just reading a little 3-book trilogy here, and we're going to read through chapter 29.
Okay, so hold on. So read 29,
Yep.
not 30?
Yep. Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to hope for Mindy's sake. They both put me some spice in there.
There's something happening here. And
I'm telling you, when it does, it's going to be like a volcano exploding, and Mindy's going to be all happy, and I'm going to be.
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have a great big all-nighter. I don't
know. I feel like
they're the all-nighter kind of people, but
I don't know. I think this tension is building, and it's building, and it's got to blow at some point.
It might be just things got started, and then they were like, oh, no, whoa, no. I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. Mindy's like, because Mindy's going to throw her book if that's the case.
I might.
Mindy's going to be like, don't you tease me.
Yep, I might start throwing my book. I don't know.
See, that's what could make Mindy throw a book. If they start getting all hot, and then it's like, never mind, and they walk away. And Mindy gonna be like,
yeah.
Mindy gonna be like, no.
Oh, come on. Seriously.
Mindy will throw her book then.
Do the right thing. Just do it. Come on. God.
If all she gets is, now imagine, Mindy, for you, this will give you an idea of how I felt through this other series. Imagine if every single time that spicy time was coming, they get you up, that like they're describing it, and it's happening. You could tell it, and then like cold water, it stops, and then it doesn't pick back up for the rest of the book, and then the next book starts you again. It builds and it builds and it builds, and then cold water.
Yeah, I'll smack a person.
See, we know what would get Mindy to throw her book.
Yeah. I honestly would say that I've never really I've never really been that way. Like, I think, was it last week I said books don't make me cry. Like, I don't get emotional and cry at anything.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, I do. When I get invested, that's how I know if I'm invested in a book. That's why I threw this. I wanted to throw my phone. When I get invested in a book and in these characters, like I see, it's just like going to a movie. I see these characters. I hear them. I picture them walking. Well, I don't really hear them, but I picture them walking around and what's happening. And I'm so invested in them. And when stuff happens, so like, when the stuff happened with Harry Potter, I like it. I mean, I felt like I had lost my own mentor. And, so I'm like feeling these. I can't. And when I watch the movies, if I do watch a movie of it, if it's a good movie with good characters and I'm invested in them, I'm laughing when they're laughing. I'm crying when they're crying. I'm screaming at them when they're supposed to be doing what there's something else. And I get full on invested. If I'm not feeling that way about a character, I'm not interested in the book really.
Yeah, it's got to be a real emotional thing that hits me like personally to make me cry. Not just because of what they're going through, but it's got to be something that hits me more personal. So
yeah, no, if I am invested in the book, now if you see me where I'm like, I don't care what happens to them, because there's been a few books that we've read that I wasn't invested in the characters. They could have gone off to Hades and I'd have been like, all right, have a nice trip. Don't eat no pomegranates.
Yeah, Sherry, I don't understand that painting on Amazon. It almost looks like it's Seabreeze Trail or Seabreeze Path just cropped down. I don't get it.
I'd have to go check that out. I didn't see that. Because as far as his paintings, I like the ocean themed ones. Still waiting on that flipping safari one to come back because I do want that one. I want it.
Well,
I want it. I want
it. You know Seabreeze Trail and Seabreeze Path, right?
Yeah, because I have Seabreeze Path, but I don't have Seabreeze Trail.
That's what the one on Amazon looks like.
Oh.
I don't think that Chuck has an Ocean Whisper. I don't think he has an Ocean Whisper Path painting.
Oh.
I think it's this one. I think it is Seabreeze Trail cropped down.
Where it's just a part of the picture?
Yeah, because here is Seabreeze. Sorry, it's blowing.
Yeah, I see it. That's Seabreeze
Path. And on Amazon is like a part of it. Like the flowers and a little bit of path is all it is. I think they've just cropped it down and called it something different, which is weird. I didn't think that was something that they would do or could do or should.
Yeah, because Seabreeze Path. That was Seabreeze Path. I did that.
No, that's Seabreeze Trail.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's Seabreeze, because I did Seabreeze Path and it looks pretty much just freaking like that.
They're very similar, yeah.
And I know they're supposed to be companion pieces.
But I think this one is the path that they just cut out at least half of the painting and called it Ocean Whisper Path.
Called it something else. We can't call it ocean if there's no ocean in the picture.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. Very weird. So I don't know why they're doing that. Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah. All righty. Well,
Mindy is hoping that by the time at the end of chapter 29,
there better be something. There better be something.
Mindy gonna be writing a letter to this author going, all right, listen here. You got me excited because the first book, you hit us straight away.
Look, that's exactly what it is. Look, this is the
oh, that's just the other. That's just half the
Amazon
picture.
one. It's only half the picture. So they cut Seabreeze Trail in half and call it Ocean Whisper Path.
No, that's baloney.
That is a bunch of bull, isn't it? Made a little 13-inch.
I mean, I guess if someone, I can understand if maybe someone doesn't want to do one of the large pencils. But I feel like you miss out on some of the cool parts of that painting.
And I mean, is that okay with him that they cut it down, crop it?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
call it
because
something
usually, so
else? I mean,
they had that question to another artist, and the artist actually explained in the group that they're approached and asked,
if they
would
could
you
crop
show us
it.
where you would crop it? And the artist shows where to crop it. Because the artist has to
And we
approve where to
can
crop it.
also then rename it something else. And you know, the other thing I don't like about Amazon is they don't tell you who the artists are.
What?
They don't tell you who the artists are on Amazon.
I could have swore when I got my Spanglers, it said Spangler.
Well, it does on the painting.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you in the listing who it is.
No, I could have swore in the listing it has, Diamond Art Club by Randall Spangler. I'll have to look. That's going to make me crazy.
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
I'm going to have to ask that.
The only way that you can figure it out is if you go to the page with the toolkit and all that stuff and maybe get lucky and blow it up and be able to see the name.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But they don't tell you who the artist is.
I am trying to decide what I'm thinking I am warming up a frozen meal because I am not in the mood to cook.
We already done 8. Yeah, right. Sure. You have to try to see. And some of them you can't read. Because if the artist's name is like really long, you try to blow up the painting so you can read the bottom, you can't read it.
That's weird.
I don't like how they do that. They shouldn't do
That's
that.
weird. Maybe it's an Amazon thing.
I don't know. They make such a big deal about, the art is all licensed and stuff. I thought this was interesting, though. The stacked pumpkins came to Amazon.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people love that one.
I got that, but I had to get that one through Hirschner's.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyhow. Okay. I guess that's all we got.
So we're going to read through 29. Mindy's going to have fingers crossed that there's some sort of something.
Let's have a little hanky-panky, please. Let's hanky-panky do.
We know Mindy's want some red room stuff happening.
Some what?
Mindy's want some red room stuff to happen.
Oh, we're not going to get no red room. That ain't going to happen.
Mindy's like, I got to read other stuff for that.
Yeah, nothing I'm reading has anything like 50 Shades of Grey for sure. We ain't got nobody with a room. We ain't got no subs and doms and none of that stuff. I could probably find some on my shelf that has some of that, but.
And God bless, this series has some, like I said, it has gotten all kinds of crazy, twisted, upside down, left, right. I don't even know what I'm reading sometimes. I'm like, dang, that's why I'm just like, nope. Okay. Y'all have your fun. Tell me when it's over.
Let me know when
Okay.
you're done. Let me know when you're done. And I wanted to
I don't know what's happening. I don't care to know what's happening. Y'all have your whatever y'all want to do, let's call it. And then we just gonna find out what's happening.
I will say this though, Brandy. If you just kind of skip through that stuff, sometimes you miss some important things that come out.
There ain't no important things coming out during that stuff.
In the heat of passion, you learn some things sometimes.
The only thing that has happened is their inner monologue while it's happening of how they like each other. Well, I would assume when you like each other with if you're doing what you're doing, then you must like each other. That has already been very self-evident that I'm good. I'm
just saying you might miss some stuff. Yeah, I went Purple Room. That's right. Purple Room. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like your little froggy stopped.
For a minute, yeah. Or he just
they're
moved.
They're waiting to serenade you and Dale later on tonight.
Yeah. Like I said, if the pond gets cranking like it did last night, I got to get out there and film some of that. It was wild. It was wild. We literally had to start closing the windows. I'm like, Dale, they're too loud. We got to close these windows.
They are the noisy neighbors out there.
Yeah. But it's not as warm tonight, so they might not be as loud and active as they were last night. It's It's
Makes
a little
sense.
bit chillier. All right. Well, I am going to go work on some granny squares for our crochet along thing on Friday. Get my squares made that I need to do.
I am going to get something to eat, and then I am taking a regular summer class in addition to my labs this summer, and it started this week, so I got to get my first assignment done and turned in.
Brenda, you got that song going through my head now with the frogs singing Little Mermaid.
Oh my God!
Song going through my head now.
You know, kiss the girl. La 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 la, sha sha da 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 da.
Yeah, it's going through my head already.
I can see the little froggy singing on that little paddle.
Yep.
Now you're gonna have me having it in my head. That never.
I know, right? Thanks, Brenda. Thanks.
Oh my God!
All
Ready to
right.
get you and Dale out there in a boat, and the froggies will serenade you, and y'all can kiss the girl.
Sha la 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 la. Oh boy, here we go. All right. I'm gonna have to go watch something else now, or that's just gonna haunt me for the rest of the night.
She's gonna be singing it in her sleep.
Yep. And you know what? My husband, I start singing, and you know what happens? If I start singing something like I'm just zipping and doing around the house and I start singing and whatnot, you know what he does?
What?
He has Alexa start playing some radio station or something. And I'm like, you know what? Listen to me sing what?
They're like, I'm singing, Dale.
I'm
if you don't
singing.
do anything, have Alexa accompany me with my song.
Are you not into my singing? What? What's the problem?
He is not matching your energy on that. He's supposed to match your energy and start singing with you and dancing with you.
But now, if he wants to sing something, like if he wants to play some song and sing badly to it, that's different than I can't. Okay. All right. All righty. I will let you go so you can go eat, and I'm going to go crochet some squares.
There you go. And then I'm going to do some homework.
Woohoo. I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Well, the first week's not so bad so far.
Well,
Knock on wood.
I don't have to do it. I don't have to do any of that.
You don't have to do none of it. Yeah. No. You also don't have to deal with these kids during testing. You don't have to.
I'm good. I'm all good. All good. Yep.
I can't wait till I can wake up and just not have to come to something. But that's not going to be until the middle of June. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to put in your dues, man. Got to put in your time, pay your dues, all that. Yeah.
All right. Well.
All righty. We will talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
La, 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 la. I want to